जला देगा भाई तेरा, पूरी दुनिया जला देगा भाई तेरा। यहाँ खुद नहीं आए तुम लाए गए हो, बेटा मेरे आगे तेरे जैसे आए गए बहुत, चल बाय बाय बाय। जो किसी की नहीं मानते, जो किसी पे ना ध्यान दे, होता सफल वो तेरे।
I wrote a book upon it actually, and the title of my book is "We Don't Need Men Anymore," and through the don't there's a strike through, right? So in that book, I was talking about the three ways in which the men are being subjugated. They are being deprived of their abilities. They are being deprived of their masculine role as well, and it is being done in a sophisticated way, right? The laws are being made in such a way that it favors the women. So women can anytime go to the police and go to the court, and they can file a case that I want a divorce just because this man so and so put up with me, yeah, and so I need an alimony, and I need to part ways with him, and so there are cases like these. And then there is a, like, as you might have read in psychology, that we as human beings are basically chemical factories, right? We have hormones inside us that basically dictate the very understanding of how we as human beings function, right? If like women on in their periods tend to be like very cranky, very irritable easily, and that is just exactly because there is a upsurge and a downsurge of certain hormones in their body. In the same way, even men who are low on testosterone, right? They tend to be more geeky. They tend to have they tend to have less developed beard and like facial hair, like body hair. They do not have it. And apart from that, there is a general lack of taking lead in things. Men low on testosterone don't take lead in things. They don't play sports. They don't enjoy team activities. They want to be individualistic, like I used to be, because I was also such a person about 4 to 5 years back. And that is usually attributed to having low testosterone. And when I researched about like how is low testosterone an important thing, like how can a small hormone that is made inside my body dictate so much of my life, right? And
A
how I
lot.
see, yes,
A lot. I
it
mean,
is a lot.
hormones, every time there is more scientific evidence, we see that hormones have a much bigger role in our
Exactly.
development and daily life than it was assumed 20 years
Yes,
ago. It's a very interesting
exactly.
subject, yes.
Yes. So I came across that the general production of testosterone in men has been generally declining since the 1940s, like after the Second World War ended. So it has been gradually declining after that, and no one is questioning like what is the reason that this general production inside a man's body, it is declining. Why is it happening so? And well, funnily enough, even I didn't had an answer to this about 2 years back. And then I realized that there was a sophisticated process through which all of this was being put into our food, right? The fast food chains, right? The
Yes,
vaccines.
the food has a big impact on
Exactly.
hormone. You see it in children now in Europe, that many fathers
Yes.
or mothers buy into this idea that children don't need certain foods because they are into some ideology that some foods are bad. Foods that, by the way, humankind has been eating since we exist. Suddenly now
Obviously.
they say they're unhealthy. And you see a lot of little boys already that are not really well
Yeah,
developed in terms of hormonal development. And you see a
exactly.
lot of women who actually choose partners who are lower in testosterone levels. And there
Yes.
I heard somebody who I know is very well read and knows more about it than I do, which is Dr. Jordan Peterson from Canada.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
Jordan Peterson said that we know from very serious studies that women, when they're pregnant, they
Yes.
of course will not be looking for men that are high on testosterone levels because they're already
Yes.
pregnant. They don't need to search for a new mate who has that
Exactly.
attribute. But now
Yes.
that a lot of Western women are on the pill or taking contraceptive pills for years,
Yes.
that makes
Yes.
them in their body like a simulation of a constant state of pregnancy, hormone wise. That's how you
Yes.
prevent it. That they
Exactly.
are maybe too often or all of the time attracted to men that are lower on testosterone. So
Right.
now women on average choose mates that maybe a woman in the 40s would not have chosen, biologically speaking, because yes, it doesn't matter
Exactly.
what people come about with that ideology that everything is socially constructed. No, there is a lot of your biology, the hormones, your brain that is wired to find people that genetically are strong and are a good
Exactly.
match. And if
Yes.
women now, because we're manipulating their hormonal status like continuously for years to prevent
Yes.
unwanted pregnancies, and I'm not talking against contraceptives here, God
Yes.
forbid, yeah, but that of course it is not a surprise that it might have an effect on how we choose the men
Exactly.
that we find
Yeah.
attractive.
Yeah. Women tend to give preference to men who can be better caregivers when they are pregnant, right? They want someone who
Yes.
can take care of them. They do not want someone who is like proactive, going out and all the shouting and stuff. They don't want men who fight. They
Well,
want gentle, servile men for that.
yeah, you know what is very interesting, that, and this study was actually great. I don't know who it was conducted by because I saw it many years ago and I forgot. But it was a study where there was really no error. They could repeat it 1,000 times and it always came up with the great result. Um,
Hmm.
when they went to the US to some kind of club where women would dance, and
Okay.
gentlemen come in there just to have drinks and for the fun. And
Hmm.
they told those women to please write down how much they earned every day. If men would tell them please to dance or would give them a lot of attention, that they should write
Okay.
it down each day of the month for a
Hmm.
long period of time, to see if the days where they were fertile and able to get pregnant each week,
Okay.
each month, which are just a few days a month, if there was
Yes.
any variance. And they saw that in every lady they did the test with, the days where they were fertile, they would
Okay.
earn twice as much money, they would get so much more attention. It's like men instinctively know that they're more attractive to them
Exactly.
those days. So
Exactly.
nature has done it in a very, very precise way. And then if you
Yes.
take contraceptive pills and your hormonal status is not like this anymore,
Hmm.
like unchanged and with a rhythm, of
Exactly.
course, the response will also change. So the whole interaction changes.
Hmm.
And it's something
Right.
that is not questionable. Then people come and say, oh, but that's your opinion. No, it's not an opinion, it's a fact. And you can
Yeah.
like the fact, you cannot like it, but that's what I always say when it comes to also
Exactly.
father, if they're important. And I always say, no, this is not something you can have an opinion about. It would be
Exactly.
like
Facts.
having an
Facts.
opinion.
Yeah. Facts don't
Facts,
care about your opinions and feelings.
they don't care about your ideology, they don't care about your feelings. And it's like
Exactly.
saying, I don't believe that milk is white because I don't have this opinion. It's total nonsense. Yes, but it's that way,
That is
right?
good.
That they
Right. Right.
start arguing with you like, oh no,
Yes.
but I don't believe children who don't have a father are that badly off. I know two single mothers who are so well with their kids. And you say, yes,
Hmm.
of course there are great single mothers, but you're a
Obviously.
mother, you're not a father. So no matter,
Exactly.
that's why it's so wrong to say, oh, I needed to be mom and dad at once for my child. Well, but it doesn't matter how hard you try, you can be a
You
great
can't
single
be.
mom. You will not be a father. So there is
Exactly.
things I cannot show my daughter like a father will show, because fathers parent differently. And then they
Exactly.
argue me and they say, well, but there is women who are maybe more manly. Yes.
why do you
So,
need why do you need women to be more like men? Should be the question with them.
well, that's a whole different debate. But the thing is, and here I will throw you another piece of data in case you
Okay.
need to tell somebody. Um,
Sure.
like you put the example of animals, which is a great
Yes.
example. You
Yes.
see little lions, lion daddy playing with the
Yes.
baby
Yes. Yes.
lions, with the puppies,
Yes.
and they play rough and tumble. They
Yes. Yes. Yes.
scratch,
Yes.
and the daddy lion trains the little
Hmm.
puppies how to
Yes.
interact,
Yes.
how
Yes.
to apply the strength, how to regulate
Yes.
the strength. And this is
Exactly.
something humans do, human babies
Yes.
do, mostly with their fathers.
Exactly.
So then people who like that ideology of saying that gender doesn't matter and all that stuff, they say no, but they also do it with mom. No, they mostly don't. My daughter has been living with me. She lived with me alone till she
Yeah.
was 8 and till she was 10 years old. She lived only with
Okay.
me, and she never did rough and tumble play with me, not once.
Yeah.
She came to hug me. She came to make
Okay.
a little joke. She came to take my hand, but she never came and tried to fight me physically as a
Yeah.
game. And
Exactly.
when she met the times she met her father, that's the first thing
Yeah.
she would do with him. And
Exactly.
the thing is, if animals are prevented
Yes.
from doing that rough and tumble training with daddy, their brains develop differently. So they
Exactly.
don't develop at the same pace. And your
Right.
brain, as you maybe know, develops from bottom to top. So this
To
part, the
top.
prefrontal cortex, is the last one to develop. That's why children
Exactly.
at 14, even at 20, do not have a
Hmm.
fully developed prefrontal cortex, which
Exactly.
regulates social interaction, risk measurement,
Exactly.
consequences, how to make decisions. So all the things that you see teenagers and you think, how can they be so dumb? They should have seen that that was dangerous. And they don't, because they can't,
Right.
they need to still train those things and to engage
Yes.
in risk or how to. So if a little girl or a little boy never have had that training that takes
Hmm.
place in rough and tumble play, their prefrontal cortex doesn't develop the same way. And
Exactly.
that's why I'm sure, and I would love to have a scientist who knows this to confirm it to me, but I'm sure that in my case, like many other girls who grow up just with the mother, they feel a lot of very afraid to activities that might imply a certain physical risk or a lot of
Exactly.
speed, and I till today can't enjoy and engage in some activities because I feel afraid. And other people say, but why? It's fun, nothing is going to happen. I can't do it. And my daughter,
Hmm.
she has a dad, but he wasn't around for some years because he got really ill and he couldn't really play with her or anything. And
Okay.
later I found my partner with whom I live with today, and he's become
Okay.
very loving, like second dad for my daughter. And all she does with him still now when he comes
Hmm.
home is jump on him and do rough and tumble play. So she is.
Exactly.
कैसे बढ़ाएंगे जल्दी से लाइक और शेयर ठोक दीजिए संख्या 5000 क्रॉस हो जाए महाकाल के आशीर्वाद से एकदम जो है लाइक और शेयर बनता है महाकाल के आशीर्वाद से ठोकी दबा के लाइक और शेयर